You and I watch a lot of trailers together, so at this point you should be aware of the importance of a money shot in a big blockbuster trailer. What sells the film to the audience? What's everyone talking about, right? And a good trailer, or in this case a teaser trailer, will have one money shot. This has several money shots. In fact, we're going to count them as we go through the trailer. It's so impressive. But even beyond from an audience fan perspective, from a business perspective, this trailer is just so well constructed because not only does it have multiple money shots, and those are very important not only to get to you to get excited about the movie, but to someone like me who needs to promote the film, right? I need to have something to put in the poster frame, like the imagery. I mean, we're in a visual business here, right? So it's so frustrating when I get a trailer for something and I'm like, I got nothing. You gave me nothing to put in the poster frame. It was very hard to find something, for instance, in the Rogue One trailers. That's a good example. And we talked about that of a movie trailer that's lacking severely in money shots. Basically, if it had Darth Vader in it or Orson Krennic, great, but otherwise, it was really tough. They're beautiful shots, but they're a little bit too complex. These are very simple, and they play really well even when they're very small, which is important because thumbnails, right? And Disney Marvel, or at least with this trailer, because some of not all their trailers are this good, but this is like one of the best trailers I've ever seen. I mean, this is really exemplary. But the other thing, and this is where it gets really like advanced level, right? It's even trickier when you have a trailer or any kind of promotional material for a sequel, because you need to visually distinguish the movie at a glance from the other movie, right? And that happens a lot, like for instance, with Underworld and the Resident Evil trailers that were recently coming out. It's been very difficult for me to find a poster frame where someone would be like, oh, that's for the new movie, not for an older Underworld or Resident Evil movie. I mean, thank God for Kate Beckinsale's Frosted Tips, or I would be in even more of a difficult situation. But this has several shots that are clearly not from the first movie that, really clearly signal everyone this is the sequel. So it's beautifully put together. All right, so let's go through it. And again, we're gonna count those money shots. All right, I already know which one I'm gonna use for the poster frame, which you've seen. But even while watching, I can often identify what my shots are gonna be and what will be good for the one for the live reaction and what will be good for the one for the shot by shot based on how much real estate I have in the poster frame. Because my face goes in the live reaction, but I have a little bit of space above the shot by shot review section. It's a lot of thought goes into this. Okay, so thank you, Disney Marvel, for making my job a little bit easier. And now you have a little bit of a behind the scenes on how I do this stuff. All right, so let's get started. Now, at the beginning here, I wish I can't do these with sound, but the sound here is so good. I didn't buy the first soundtrack, but by remixing this song, it makes me want to buy the soundtrack. I would love it if they remix these songs in a cool, more modern, space techno kind of way like they do here. And also, like they remix this song for dramatic effect, which is so amazing. Everything in this trailer turns up the original Guardians of the Galaxy to like a 15, because I think a lot of people would argue that the first one was on an 11. I didn't agree, but I'm very intrigued and encouraged by what I see here. But also, it sounds like they're cocking a gun at the beginning of this trailer, but it's actually a cassette tape going into a machine. Oh, it's so clever. Okay, so anyway, because I listened to it and I was like, what's the point of that sound? Cassette tape. Genius. So you have some graffiti on here, but it doesn't look like English. I think it's the same language. I don't even think it looks like it's an Earth language. I think it's the same language, although someone might be like, Grace, it's a language from the other side of the globe. Come on. So if anyone knows what it is, please let me know. But I think it's the same language which is on Chris Pratt's shirt. That might be a real language, though. I don't know. All right. It's not distinguishable to me. But anyway, and as I said, this looks a little like Millennium Falcon-like, which I think is awesome. Because we all know that Chris Pratt is a Han Solo, Captain Kirk kind of, combo. All right, so really good use of building tension, right, and excitement, like, the warm-up for a show. And a great joke right off the bat. I love this. I like to imagine that Rocket Raccoon wrote this, because I think Baby Groot's hands are too small right now. But it just really perfectly captures the whole movie in a joke. Spacesuits, it takes place in space, for emergency, because they get into a lot of action in high-stakes situations, but then they also like to have some fun. So very, very clever. And it also is interesting because it takes, something we see in movies all the time about, escape pods, etc., and it puts a twist on it. And it also makes it, I think, more relatable, because like you would want to do that, right? So it's really, really clever. Very good. There's a level of sophistication that I really felt was severely lacking from the first movie. The first movie to me felt a little frat boy-like, and this one seems, I just think, more professional. All right. There's so much to discuss in a freaking teaser trailer. I like to imagine here that Groot is either, Drax, sorry, Groot's friend. I like to think that Drax is either watching television here or playing video games. Maybe it's something more serious, but that's what I would like to think it would be. All right, so that. Now, we haven't gotten to any of the money shots yet, but this one is a beautiful shot. This has like some poetry to it where you're like, where did that come from, James Gunn? I mean, you know what this guy comes from trauma, his background, and I really respect his, he doesn't need to step up his game. The first movie is loved by the majority of people, and it did very well in the box office, but he does want to step up his game. So I think that's really impressive. So this wisp of hair just leaving the frame with the sunlight coming in, but we know, of course, it's alien hair because we can spot Gamora. She's very, very easily identifiable. It's just a very nice touch. I really like that. That's when I started to be like, man, he improved for sure. All right, so, and they're fading in and out to the remix music. Okay, now this is your first money shot, right? It's a beautiful shot. The silhouette and is easy to see in a poster frame, and also you can move it around and put writing left and right, so it's very good. Also, this shot never appeared in the first movie, so you immediately know new material. So it looks great. I think it's really cool. All right. This summer. That is amazing. Holy crap. I love it so much. Just the way it came out to the music. This is another money shot, by the way, as you saw the one I chose for the shot-by-shot review. I think it looks just absolutely spectacular. The balancing in the frame is just really, it's very aesthetically pleasing. And also, Gamora looks so cool. I love her sword. I just recently talked about it when I was doing top female costumes in comic book movies in the MCU and the DCEU. And I love that she has like a major sword. I always talk about Wonder Woman's sword being a little bit small, but I like that, and I like that it's like almost like, when they have those batons that people carry, that fold out with like when you whip them, like whip it real good, okay? That's fantastic. I also thought of the whip my hair back and forth. They have music on the brain, and I don't know music very well, and I'm not a huge music fan, so for them to get me in the zone is pretty impressive. But anyway, the action momentum of deploying the sword is really compelling. And again, and also the way the angle she's holding it further, it creates this beautiful, line through the frame. It's just gorgeous. It's so beautiful. Now look at this. It gets even cooler. So then she starts to run. And how great is it that she's just wearing a black long sleeve shirt, right? I mean, she looks cool. She looks attractive, but she's not trying to. It's just, I really like it. I'm wearing a long black sleeve shirt too, so I like your look, Gamora. She has some shielding on. She has like that vest, for protection. And I just think she looks, I wasn't so sure about her costume in this movie, but I'm actually really liking it. I think it's what a lot of us women would actually wear today if we were to go on a space adventure, right? So I really respect that. I think the hair highlights come out are a little bit more noticeable this time around. She's gone red instead of pink, interestingly enough. I wonder if she has mood hair, right? Or she just changes it to suit her mood. But I think it's really great. I think this is a really relatable and likable outfit. And as I said, she still looks really good. And her run is excellent. Now look at that. The wire work's a little obvious there, so I'm not totally in love with that. But what's great about this is Zoe Saldana is like really stick thin, almost a little like Ezra Miller. And it gives both of them, particularly the way they have no eyebrows and stuff, even more than him, a little bit of like this weird insect look, right? Like her and Mantis should really get along. We haven't seen Mantis just yet, but I think it's really neat, and I think they play up, a pet peeve is that like she's supposed to be an alien character, but she doesn't look at all like an alien, right? She just looks like a human in green makeup. But little elements like that, I think, help. So very cool. I'm excited to see this action sequence. So that's very neat. The wire work, again, a little obvious, but the rest of the trailer is so amazing. Who cares? Now this is great. This is not a great, it's a great shot in the trailer, but it's not a great money shot because these guys on the side are a little bit hard to make out. You'd have to really boost the brightness on this. We haven't seen these two characters ever together before though, so in that regard, I'll count it as a money shot because it's easily identifiable as something new. So I'm interested to see the dynamics as they add new members to the team. Yondu, I'm not a big fan, but I know that he has his fans, both as a character and as an actor. I wonder what's happening there that they did that. Now, everybody noticed this. This is another great shot. Here's another one. This is another money shot. And that's because Nebula's costume has changed significantly. And it's not so much that it's changed, as that she seems to be really down on her luck and can no longer afford face makeup, face paint, right? So I love the idea that in the other movie that she wasn't totally a different color, but she just decided to do that cosmetically to make both sides match. But I actually prefer this. I like the idea, as you can see, like the purple's rubbed off. I like the idea that only part of her is blue, and it gives her much more of a patchwork quilt look. I think it's much more preferable. I really, really like it. Also, she looks like she has a red light bulb as an eye. That's kind of cool, and it looks really low tech, right? She's like, this will just have to do for now. That's how bad off Nebula is. She had to go to Radio Shack for her eyeball. But I think it looks really cool, and she looks like really in distress. Like, that's another good thing. These shots aren't only cool, but they really make you wonder what's happening in them. Like, what's the context? So that's very impressive. I think Nebula is also joining the team to be Team Biatch, right? We'll see. Now look at that. That's really great. Now, sure, it's just Star-Lord putting his mask on, but you know why I like it? I like the seriousness of Chris Pratt's performance, right? Like, this guy's such a happy-go-lucky guy, both as an actor and as just like Michael Rooker. They've cast very similar to the characters they're playing. But anyway, it looks like he's like, I do have some actual things I need to do. Stuff just got real, and he's concerned. Like he's going to work, and also the visual effects on this mask are so much better. Like, wow, thanks for spending the money, Marvel. I mean, you certainly have it with this franchise now, and I'm glad they put it on the screen. So it's really sophisticated, and so I really like it a lot. So that's just a great shot. And the way he takes off, that wire works a little better. The wire work's a little obvious, but I guess, it's charming. I just think that's so great. And even there, he's pretty serious in some of these shots, even when he's piloting the ship here. He's not his usual happy-go-lucky self. So I like that. I think that's good. I think Chris Pratt has to evolve a little bit. He just can't always play the exact same thing. But he'll get to it because he knows everyone likes it, so don't worry. Now, there's another great shot. That other shot, by the way, with the ship those both were not money shots because they look too similar to shots from the first film. But this is totally new, great expression on the face. I think you'll see a lot of people use this shot as well to differentiate themselves from everybody using the more obvious ones, right? Like, people are going to eventually get down to this one, being like, man, everyone's using the other ones too much. I'm gonna go left when everyone else goes right, and I'm gonna pick this one. It's a good throwback to the humor that, it's a reminder that James Gunn humor is still going to be there, even though the rest of this trailer is a little bit more serious, a little bit more highbrow. So I think that's an important thing to tip to the audience as well. But it's not too silly either, which is good. One of my complaints about the first film that a lot of people had was that sometimes it was just a little bit too silly. So I think that they seem to be moving away from that, which is good. So really cool shot. It will not save itself. Now, this is really great for a couple of reasons. First of all, Chris Pratt's going to look amazing in that exact same shirt in just a few seconds. But look, he's not paying attention to his tum-tums there, and he didn't hold it in. It's like that joke about old actors from the 1950s and 60s that you can see them clearly holding their stomachs in because they go concave. No one's stomach is concave. At most, you can have a totally flat stomach, right? But it's just funny. Chris Pratt, I think he's very relatable because he has a great physique and he looks really attractive, but he's not 100% muscle, right? I'd say there's still a good chunk of fat on there, and if he doesn't wash himself all the time, it comes out the front of his jacket. So I think it's hilarious that he's got a pot belly there, and he's I don't know who his assistant was on set, or maybe someone like a supervisor. Someone should have been watching for that and been like, man, you got to redo that because he wasn't holding his stomach in. So it's very funny. It's very funny indeed. But he looks cool, and I like Zoe Saldana. That's another. I'm a big fan of black, and I'm a big fan of black leather. So I think I particularly like her look maybe more than others might. I'd be curious to hear what you guys think of her costume, but I really like it. Again, I feel like this is what I would wear in space, so I'm feeling a connection with her. All right, so I don't know what ship that is. It'll be interesting to see if it's theirs. That's another good shot. Also, yeah, sorry, I got so distracted with these cool shots. That's another money shot, clearly from this film, not from the other one. And also you can see 3 figures. They're all very clearly distinguishable, and you get full face on Gamora. That's important. People respond to faces, which is why you see them in posters all the time. This is another good shot. It's not quite as strong, but still, in a pinch, it's definitely not from the first movie. And this is his costume, still looking pretty good, looking a little bit more, like they spent a little bit more money on it, right? It's not just a leather jacket and a plasticky helmet that he puts on. Looking good. That's, of course, the reverse of the other shot. Now, this is where they're talking about some people are dancers and some people are not. That's a nice shot of Gamora. This doesn't count, though, because it could be from any movie. But I think that the little appliques on her face look a little bit better. In some shots in the old movie, because, for those of us who analyze these, we go through them painstakingly. And a lot of times I thought that the green makeup didn't quite look so flattering and it looked a little washed out. I think they've perfected the look makeup-wise here as well. So they're having this conversation about some people are dancers and some people aren't. And I thought this was hilarious because my first reaction was, yeah, Star-Lord is totally a dancer. But then I realized, because I was like, oh, then what category am I in? And I realized I am not a dancer. I'm totally not a dancer. I mean, I will dance. Someone probably has to talk me into it, right? But I was like, oh, I guess not only do I dress like Gamora, but perhaps I would be the Gamora of the ship. So I thought that was hilarious. Although maybe more the baby Groot. But I thought that was really funny. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm starting to see where I fit into the Guardians of the Galaxy. And I think that life philosophy fits really well with the movie. Because I think to some degree it's true. Some people are dancers, some aren't. And I'm curious, what are you? And do you have what it takes to admit that you're not a dancer? That's a hard thing to admit. So I like that they're having this conversation. Now here, as you can see, Chris Pratt looks amazing in his shirt. Like, he is giving Chris Evans and his beefcake shot from Civil War a run for his money. That is really nice. He is rocking the long sleeve tight shirt. It's interesting. Drax also they put him next to someone who also is a mix of like muscle and fat, right? Like, they don't have anyone here who is like 100% muscle. With all due respect to both gentlemen. But if you're gonna walk around as beefcake eye candy in a movie, that's what happens. You're gonna get analyzed. That sometimes is one of the things that bothers me as a non-dancer about Star-Lord. Is he like picking his ear or his hair? It's so gross. It's so gross. I'm glad he didn't like eat it or flick it somewhere on the ship. But those are little moments where I'm like, oh, it makes me just like the character a little bit less. But I guess it's true to form, right? I like the blue contacts on Drax here. I had big problems with Dave Bautista's acting in the first film. I'm hoping I like him a little bit better here. This is just a little bit of him, and I think he does a good job. I will say his makeup also looks better applied. I think they've done a much better job with the makeup. It looks almost like his actual skin rather than he's just been painted, which is impressive. So he's saying, you need someone pathetic like you. And he's like, thanks, man. And I would be like, someone who picks stuff off of themselves and flicks its places. And don't think we didn't see that, man. But I'm a little bit wary of this, like, loose guy, uptight girl kind of love romantic situation, because it's the exact same thing we had in Jurassic World, right? That can't be every Chris Pratt movie where he's like, I'm the happy-go-lucky guy that's going to break through your rules, lady, and make you let go. Also, I have to say, as a non-dancer, that's an annoying thing to say, right? Being a certain way is bad. Everybody is a delicate flower, and we should all be appreciated for our positives. So anyway, I'm giving you some flirting tips there. If you ever find yourself flirting with a non-dancer, don't criticize her about it. Oh, he's like, want a hug? And he's like, no, I'm good. And he's like, oh, I said no, and he gives him one anyway. Aw, they got a little tum-tum action going there. That's adorable. All right, so then, coming soon. A lot of you commented they didn't even have to say what the movie was, because duh. And then here is like, this is amazing. So here's another money shot. Oh, by the way, we have to count another one with them standing there together. Drax and Star-Lord, money shot. Now, here's another one. Now you think, there you go. Oh, it's fantastic. I'm surprised that Bradley Cooper didn't speak, or Vin Diesel. Maybe they were like, I don't want to spend money on that. We don't need him to speak. Forget it. Or let's people wait for the full trailer. But it's a great shot. I love the smile on Rocket Raccoon. It's such an FU smile. I think it's great. And then Baby Groot looks amazing. As I said, he's got a little tiny jacket on. I mean, are they going to sell Baby Groots with clothes? That would be amazing. I mean, you think people like to dress up dogs. We can now dress up Groot. So he looks amazing. I'm not sure if that's a little mini Star-Lord jacket or not. It might be, but if it is, it's adorable. It's so cute. I love it. Look at his little sleeves. I think he might have plussed the jacket because I didn't notice those little pointed sleeves on Star-Lord's jacket, but they look so adorable there. Look at his little hand. Oh, I just want to squeeze them all up. Oh, it's fantastic. And he smiles, his cute little smile. It's so good. It's a really, really good trailer. So I'm curious, what do you think of it? What do you think of looking at it from the business advertising angle that I showed it to you through? What are your favorite shots of the money shots? Are you a dancer or a non-dancer? Write your thoughts down below, and you can check out some more videos right now.